Hello, Bame Farm fans. Yet again, we're working in a dark barn, but we're here with the 1890 New Holland silage chopper. And well, we see the collection of tools on top. Now, if anybody remembers, we're gonna go way back to last fall when we finished chopping silage, and how on what became the last load, we ate a gathering chain. Now we're gonna see what the gathering chain eating incident created. It created that. You see that? Yeah, that big gash. Now, this blade is turned around. I have all the blades out. Unfortunately, you missed out on the disassembly. But I figured I know what I'm doing when it goes back together better than when I do when it's coming apart. And, well, ready to go back together. We didn't mess up the shear bar too bad. It's obviously not brand new anymore, but it's not as bad as it could be. Putting the blades back in, and we see I got my computer back here because the owner's manual we have for this beast doesn't cover this version of the cutter head. Now there's a serial number cut off for the type of blades used. Hopefully you can see that. Those are double beveled blades. The bottom's got a little slope to it, and the top's got a slope. And really I have this blade upside down. The flat side is the top, and we sharpen along here. Now this is the old front side. We're gonna flip it for this edge, which looks much better. Now, good and bad news is, New Holland didn't use these blades, but for the very end of the run on 1890 and 1895 silage choppers. None of the pull types used them. No other self-propelleds used them. So if we had to buy these blades, they'd be over $100 a piece. And we have all 12 in here. So we're gonna run 2 blades short. That's a minor detail. We're not going to use these ones. 2 of them are missing about equal amounts of iron, but since they're so badly destroyed, you can see like the different color in the metal where it bent and say popped the rust off. That can't be good, so we're not going to put this back in. But I was sitting here trying to figure out how to put these blades in. So the one of the local New Holland dealers, Baxla Tractor Sales in Courthouse. Well, Carl's the real lifesaver. Carl used to have his own dealership, and Carl's been around a while, so he knows a lot of stuff, knows where to look. So I always call for Carl at Baxla. He's my favorite parts salesman because he knows everything there is to know about old New Hollands, and we have a lot of old New Hollands. So if you have old New Hollands, call Baxla and ask for Carl. He knows what he's doing. So he did some searching for me and sent me in an email the directions for this after serial number cutter head. Now, the before serial number is just like an 890 pull type. The blades are single-edged, not double-edged, and they're angled the opposite, where this is the leading edge and this edge trails a little bit. And then the mounting is different. Everything else is fairly similar. They changed this spring to put more tension on the feed rolls. So yes, it's always lovely when we have an extra rare example of the machine. So enough of that. Now, per the instructions, we're gonna set these blades based on the grinding stone. And to do that, to set the grinding stone, if we look over here in the darkness, the rod sits in a little groove down here. And on this side, in the darkness, we can't quite see that because the shadow of the camera, right down there. Now, the book says to use the handle, but I noticed the handle has got a bend to it, so we're not going to do that. Found this piece of threaded rod that's the same diameter. We have it set down in here. I just about have the rod's set, or the rod is set. It's just adjusting the stone. We don't want to set it down too much because then we're going to grind off quite a bit of material at first pass. So I think we're pretty good there. And if we turn in our handle, that will lock the stone from turning. Nice and tight. Then we can check these blades at 2 points. So I'm going to get this broken one out yet again. It's just sitting in there. And then we're going to start putting the good blades in. Okay, first blade coming up. This is our used edge. This will be our new cutting edge. Now, am I worried about balance? Well, all of them are missing the same amount of little chunks. That's why we're not putting those two big guys in. Those are the ones I'd be worried about balance. So I'm going to line up some holes. We can kind of see how it was set in the opposite manner. I'm going to try just starting, say, with the bolts about in that position. 5 of these per blade. Really got a lot of bolts to undo. We got to torque these down to 175 pound-feet. You don't want them coming out. Do not want them coming out. These holes are going to be very important because that's how we move this blade to and fro. We're going to have to use a punch to move the blade, hopefully forward. Unless we have it too far forward, in which it'll hit the stone. Okay, that's all but one. Come on, you can do it, little guy. We just got to have 2 of them down close to hold it. Hopefully that's enough, and then we can tighten the rest of these. Well, that may not be a good angle, so we'll have to move everybody. We'll start on this side, and we are hitting the stone. That's plenty far forward. I gotta work this back a wee bit. This is where I should have that hammer and that punch, but hopefully these move with a little bit of ease. We slide it forward, and we hit the stone again. Oh boy. I might have to look at stone position. Ugh. We hit that pretty hard. And looking at our bolts, we've got, because of the, say, slotted hole showing there, I got the blade all the way back. So we can, let's say, cheat a little bit with our stone, because if we're all the way adjusted back, that means our stone is set too low. And this rod might not have been quite the right diameter. So if we loosen our handle out here, and we take off, go counterclockwise, that's a 1/4, that's a 1/2, almost a 1/2, 3/4, 1 full turn. Now let's lock that in place and try this again. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There's going to be a lot of guess and check on this one. A lot of guess and check. Well, this will be a scientific process. Well, I just arbitrarily set the stone, so that way we're positioning these blades kind of midway. We're actually almost a little far forward. I may just pick, so I want to have some room, not that we've ever moved these, but if we ever have to ever again to move the blades forward, and if I put them too far forward, we'll never have that space. So I don't want to just arbitrarily make something up, but that may end up being kind of what I do. to pick a spot that's a mirror image of what we had before. And adjust from there. And hopefully we don't twist these too much. I know, super scientific. The before serial number option of blades had spring-loaded pins that went in the side on both sides. You slide the pins in and you match it so the blades would just clear. Well, we don't have quite that luxury. So I'm already not doing what the book wants. Now we're hitting there, but not at the very edge. Maybe the very edge is a bad place to do it because the way these blades are set up. I remember sharpening them in previous years, and the one edge of the blade doesn't get sharpened very well because of how it's curved and twisted. So maybe we'll leave it set where it's at. And we'll try at another place across. Should probably do a spot here and a spot here that's not at the edge, not in the center. And maybe even throw in a center spot, but 2 should be enough. As we hear there, in that position, we hit. We just scrape it. And that's not too hateful a placement. So if we tighten this bolt down, just a hair, and then we back it up and slide it across, we hit the stone. So we got to move the blade back on the outside edge. Just we can't get our hammer in here. And it moves the whole darn thing. Thought I picked a pretty good blade that was true to original bending. Well, I mean, it'll hit, and then I tighten this bolt, and then it had a lot of clearance. So now I've got it, I think, where it just barely taps the stone. On this side. Oh, and I'm gonna slide it across. On the other side, we got to try to tap it back and hopefully not mess up our placement over here. Now, unfortunately, there's not... I know, with these slotted holes, the whole thing's going to slide. It won't get too much twist to it. I think we're going to need a lot of twist, actually. Is that enough? Nope, that's still not enough. That got a lot of movement. Still, not that much movement. I see it moving right there. Maybe we're just not moving as much. Okay, we're getting closer. So I've only got one nut tight. Oh, that's not bad yet. It's not great. We need more. Okay, solid move. Ooh, boy. And it gets worse as we go across. Then over here we got a lot of clearance. Oh. It's gonna be a whole lot of sharpening the first time to get these square, right? Just wear down that stone. Okay, it's almost not bad. Something I gotta keep in mind when I do that, that now we'll have all the clearance in the world, and it will have changed dramatically. Oh, holy cow. Wow. Just a little bit of play. We're gonna undo all my hard work and send this back forward. Still see daylight. Just want to hear it kiss the edge of that stone. Oh, I wish this thing had MetAlert, but apparently it was just a little bit before MetAlert, or before they made MetAlert standard. Okay, we just rub. We miss, and then we miss by a whole bunch out here. Hopefully that gives us play. Let's try this again. Oh, this is going to be a tough one to get set. So you guys get the point. It's a lot of guess and check. That's nowhere near enough torque. But I think I satisfactorily placed this, I believe. Now that edge receded some. Ugh. This has been a pain in the butt. I tighten it down and it changes. But we're pretty close.